Welcome back to the Star Trek Critic. Today's episode is In Theory, where Data gets a girlfriend. Of course, Jenna just broke up with her last boyfriend. This makes Data her transitional boyfriend, which are always doomed to failure. The first point is lost, since it is obvious that torpedo they are working on is made of plastic when they are closing the lids. Jenna tells Data her deep, dark secrets that usually aren't reserved for a future boyfriend. Why is Jenna scanning that console? It looks like bad set directions, so -1 point. Jenna really considers Data her bestie. Data thinks of this whole situation as a study session in his quest to become human. But why is he searching so far back in history? Also, 6 weeks have passed. Jenna should have gotten over him by now. Up on the bridge, Worf is ready to light up the galaxy. This looks like the Mutara Nebula from Star Trek II, so -1 point. Or do all nebulas look alike? Jenna gets all giggly about watching something blow up in space like she's never seen it before, which means she really has the hots for Data. This is the first episode directed by Patrick Stewart, who loses a point for having this concert in 10 forward instead of the big theater. The producers always forget this ship is massive and has everything a small city has. 1 point lost since the Starfleet personnel weren't allowed to change clothes before their performance. Or is it because in the future Starfleet officers really don't have money and can't afford to buy anything?
Money doesn't exist in the 24th century.
No money? You mean you don't get paid?
As usual, the camera follows the extra to the main characters. Data is quickly discovering what it is like to end up on that double date you didn't expect and didn't want. Don't worry, Data. We have all experienced that type of torture. Miles is a slob, and Keiko said screw it. She threw all his clothes out, which explains why he is always in a uniform. It turns out Jenna is a slob too. Up on the bridge, Riker is 1 step behind Picard, like the little ass kisser that he is. In the nebula, they see a large mass of dark matter, where a Class M planet strangely appears. They decide, should we send more probes and stay out here where it is safe, or fly the ship in when we know dark matter will make a mess of things on the ship? They decide to fly in, so -1 point. Gates McFadden has less than 5 lines. -1 point. 1 more point lost, since medical tools should be put away and not sitting on a table like that. Data and Jenna relax after some wild copulatory activity in the torpedo bay. Never forget when they say torpedo in the bay, it means they did the nasty. Data tries to analyze Jenna's pointless chatter, discovering women in love have no concept of time. Here is foreshadowing. When Data says he has no emotions, Jenna decides to break Starfleet protocol by kissing a superior officer while on duty. She should be written up for this. But what poor Jenna doesn't know is that Data is a little stud muffin, programmed in old techniques, and he can keep secrets, so all the other women on the ship have already had Data's torpedo in their bay. This is just another day in the life of a walking sex machine like Data, but he doesn't do this service for free, and now has to go tell his pimp that he has a new client. In 10 forward, you learn that orange juice and blue Kool-Aid makes the famous drink known as It Is Green. Data needs to talk to his madame about his new Jane, but Guinan wants him to try out this new drink. His description of it is hideous, which is typical of prop drinks on TV sets. Then he says the code word, Torpedo Bay, and then they talk terms. Guinan says, Data, we don't use money anymore. Why do you keep charging for your services? Data replies, if no money exchange is involved, what's it all about? I don't feel like a sleazy sex toy android, unless she leaves money on the nightstand on her way out. Guinan then says, Data, why do you keep thinking I'm your pimp? Data says, isn't that why you are here in the bar when it is closed? Besides, we all know what you were doing with Mark Twain in San Francisco. Judging by the way Lever Burton and Brent Spiner hold this poor cat, they are probably not cat owners. The poor cat is thinking, dude, let's just get this scene over with, and I'm not even the right cat, so -1 point. This is a Somali cat. Spot is usually a tabby or an iguana. Both are completely baffled as to how this cat could get out of Data's quarters, which means that they really don't know shit about cats. Data asks Geordi about relationships with girls. Geordi says, you really haven't watched the Star Trek episodes involving me and a girl, have you? Geordi performs Picard maneuver number 1. Data then goes to Deanna for advice. She finally gets to do her job, and she talks him out of it. She says, Data, you only go after blondes, and I have been a sure thing the entire time. When is my turn in the torpedo bay? Worf gives the best advice.
Go to her door. Beg like a human.
Riker performs Picard maneuver. Number 2. Data arrives with flowers he stole from the Arboretum. At least he tries, but Jenna is rather needy and is looking for a relationship which goes outside the torpedo bay. When Dr. Sung programmed Data to be a sexual dynamo who can do all the variations of the Kama Sutra and end with the swirl,
You mean the swirl?
you'd think he would have programmed him with relationship skills. Jenna really is a slob. Data was here, now he's on the bridge. -1 point. Riker does Picard maneuver number 2. Worf says, I number 1. Picard does Picard maneuver number 3. And wants to know who has been playing with his toys on his desk.
Oh, you know what? Ask them about the toys on my desk, too. They always used to arrange the toys on my desk.
And why does the narrator have an AI-generated voice with a fake British accent? Worf says the narrator's microphone stopped working on his desktop, but still works on his laptop. But then the narrator spilled Kool-Aid on the laptop, and the keys are all sticky. Picard says, we have a really stupid narrator, don't we? Data says, I love you. Jenna says, I know. Wasn't Data just on the bridge? Why is he here painting? -1 point. Jenna brings a weird thing. As a gift for Data, she is simply re-gifting something that she didn't want, since nobody knows what it is for. Data has a tough time putting it in the right spot, since he doesn't know what it's for either. Jenna leaves victorious, knowing that even if their relationship fails, she finally got rid of that thing her last boyfriend dumped on her that he didn't want either. Riker does Picard maneuver up to 5, so it's time for a drink. Data is back on the bridge, -1 point. Picard was conveniently called to the bridge so he wouldn't get sucked out of the conference room.
Correction, sir. That's blown out.
How did these small anomalies make an entire planet disappear? Well, it was a good thing nobody was in here. 1 point lost for Data, entering her quarters without knocking. 1 point lost, since Data would be able to access more sophisticated relationship advice than 1950s sitcoms. Why did Jenna wait until Data got there before she took off her shoes? She has really stinky feet, so should take her shoes off as soon as she gets home so they air out before he gets there. Data says, may I, before he grabs her feet.
May I? Now!
Unfortunately, Data skipped ahead and read the chapter that said picking a fight results in great makeup sex. He is so ready for sex, he uses 2 contractions, so -1 point. Jenna says he is only getting to second base tonight. This is where he makes his biggest mistake, when he says there is no real me. Jenna found his androidness attractive, and Data is now trying to be someone that he isn't, and it is driving her away. In reality, men have made this mistake for the past 200,000 years now, so Data's mistakes fit perfectly with his goal to be more human. When you kiss a girl, you are supposed to say you are thinking only of her, or not thinking at all. That's in the chapter about lying for sex. Back on the bridge, they realize it was a stupid idea to go into the nebula before sending more probes in. They always forget they are flying around in a ship built by our hard-earned tax money, and we are watching them like a hawk. McKnight says, I number 2. Geordie says he almost lost a man. It's a good thing he was in a yellow shirt, or he would have died. McKnight says, I number 3. That is deck 8, and not 37 -1 point. 1 point lost for Van Meter's body being still. This terrible incident where she merged with the floor just happened, and she should still be twitching and screaming with body fluids squirting out in ways that will leave small children watching this show traumatized and have nightmares for years. 1 point lost for no star date. Since this could be his last entry, Data says they are playing a giant game of asteroids. With all of them in here, it must be one of those times when Dr. Crusher is in command of the ship. She is currently thinking, I'm 8 months pregnant, commanding Starfleet's flagship, which is a great achievement for women. But if I move the ship in any direction, we could hit an anomaly, all because the boys didn't send in enough probes, and they will blame me if we hit one. They are so sexist. I thought men lived to send in more probes. The solution is to use a shuttlecraft as a pilot ship to escort the Enterprise out. 1 point lost for Picard wanting to fly the shuttlecraft. He is the captain of the ship, one of their hotshot pilots should be doing it. 1 point lost for him flying alone. He should have a co-pilot, a navigator, in case they hit something and spin out of control, like he did. Jenna is on the bridge, and now she is not. Maybe she can't handle working in the same room as Data. The real reason is the SAG-AFTRA union prohibits two blondes on the same set because they will fight for dominance, which is really fun to watch, but this is a family show. Aww. O'Brien says, I number 4. Riker performs Picard maneuver number 6. McKnight is thinking, I should be piloting the shuttlecraft, but they just see me as Wesley's replacement. Emma Blonde 2, when do I get to visit Data's torpedo bay? He just likes Jenna better because she was on Alien Nation. That's why we can't be on the same set together, because they know I will beat her up. LaForge says, I number 5. Time for another drink. Hard to starboard means everyone lean to the left. Geordi says, I number 6. Picard wants a power boost. He should have brought his energy drinks with him. This big ball appearing out of nowhere means they are screwed. Picard is spinning out of control, which wouldn't have happened if he sent a trained crew like he was supposed to. Riker believes this pretty explosion means he is in command now, but O'Brien says, I number 7, sorry, Commander, your dreams of taking command just got squashed. Riker says, damn, I needed that raise, and performs Picard maneuver number 7. Data says, I number 8. McKnight says, I number 9, and they fly off to safety. Yes! 1 point lost for a single set of doors on the turbo lift. Data burns incense to hide that he has been smoking weed. Jenna comes over. Her beautiful outfit matches the small tapestry behind her. All around you can see that Jenna's influence has changed Data's Spartan quarters into a very pleasing environment. Ladies, never hold your hands like this where they are. It just doesn't look right. Jenna says, Data, I have successfully transformed you into the man I want you to be, so now I am going to dump your ass. Data says, but this is the type of man you wanted me to change to. Why are you dumping me? Jenna says, because you've changed, I liked you better before. Data responds by asking, are you going to find another man you like and change him to what you want, then dump him also? Jenna says, yes, I love doing that. Women have been doing this to men for the past 200,000 years, and you just got a good experience in humanity in just 2 days. Data says, well, in that case, I have a date with McKnight in the torpedo bay later. Jenna says, isn't she that blonde? The producers told me not to make eye contact with, or else she would punch me. Data says yes, and she punched Worf when he called her Wesley. Jenna leaves to find a new man she can change and dump, and Data learns that only a cat can love him. But Brent Spiner hates cats. Georgina Shaw was the poor Van Meter. Gary Baxley played Thorne. He is a stuntman and has over 130 stunt credits. Pamela Winslow, Kashani, played McKnight and will be back one more time. And Michelle Scarabelli was born in Montreal with 95 screen credits. You will see her on Airwolf, Dallas, and the new Superman and Lois as Martha Kent. Now for a season 4 recap. Riker fought with Shelby. Picard fought the Borg. Picard fought his brother. Data met his dad. An alien discovers he is a kidnapped human. Wesley met the Traveler. Tasha's sister was a little witch. Worf has a family reunion. We learn Riker can't play the trombone. Wesley fights a drinking fountain. Deanna loses her senses. Data writes in his diary, Cardassians are the new bad guys. The devil is a flim-flam woman. The Enterprise escape room. They screw up first contact like they always do. Geordi and Leah have a space baby. They all have nightmares. Geordi meets Mark and Brian. Barclay becomes the computer. Picard fights Vash and Q in Sherwood Forest. An old-fashioned witch hunt. Mrs. Troy meets Timmerson. Beverly has sex with a slug. Geordi gets brainwashed. Data has a girlfriend. And Redemption will be paired up with the second part in Season 5. These are the 3 not-to-be-missed episodes. Well, don't bother with these 3. In theory, where Data has a girlfriend while space anomalies are eating up the ship, gets a score of 79%. Thank you for viewing. Please leave comments below, click that like button, the share button, the subscribe button, and I will see you soon with Redemption. As for the AI-generated voice, feedback reports that AI voices are great for people who have no voices, and I should stick to my real voice. Unfortunately, my last Trek video got a copyright claim, so I had to delete it and reboot it. Without the comments, everyone left. I still would like to experiment in the AI voice world for a little while longer, so you will hear AI voices throughout Season 5, and my real voice, real return with Time's Arrow. Have a great day, and I will see you soon.